Yeah, so this video is basically a chat where I just wanted to take you through some of the history of what's happened with Bitcoin up till now and why it's got a bit of a bad reputation out there in the wider world. So as we go back through time, at the very start when Bitcoin first came out, it became synonymous with the illegal, dark, whatever you want to call it, website Silk Road. Now, if you don't know what Silk Road is, that's a topic for another day. Basically, Silk Road was a website where you could buy illicit things. I'm not going to start getting into all of that now, but the payment method on there was Bitcoin. And even to this day, any transactions on the dark web are mainly conducted through cryptocurrency because of the fact that it's anonymous. So it lends itself to that kind of clientele. Now, as time evolved, that was one of the first things that Bitcoin was used for. So it sort of got tarred with the wrong brush immediately. Now, obviously, there was a lot of people who still saw a lot of value in it because the price still tended to go up a little bit at the start and people were still becoming interested in it, to the point that exchanges were starting to list Bitcoin and you could buy and sell Bitcoin. But then in 2011, one of the biggest exchanges of that time, called Mt. Gox, based out of Japan, had a huge hacking issue. Millions and millions of Bitcoin was stolen, people were left empty-pocketed, and that also gave Bitcoin a really bad name. So originally you've got the fact that it's associated with crime, and then you've got the fact that there's security issues and they can be stolen and people can lose their money. So it wasn't the best of starts. Over the next few years, Bitcoin started to claw back a little bit of its integrity and it stayed a little bit more out of the mainstream spotlight. And as it moved forward, price started to go up again. But this cloud that hangs over Bitcoin has never fully gone away. And the reason for that is because one of the main reasons I'm attracted to cryptocurrency is because it gives power back to the people. Because I've said this in other videos, it's a decentralized system. There's no middleman. So it's essentially cutting banks and governments out of the equation. And guess what? They don't like that. And can you guess why? Because they don't make any money off it. Banks and governments don't want cryptocurrency to succeed. I'm talking about all manner of financial institutions, and I'm probably going to get blacklisted by all of these agencies for saying this, but companies like Visa and companies like PayPal and companies of that magnitude that rely on mine and your money in order to process our transactions every day. Well, if we're using cryptocurrency, we don't need to use them anymore, right? And also, cryptocurrency represents power to the people, and they don't want that. They want to control us like sheep. Fast forward a few years, and particularly over the last couple of years, in 2016 and 2017, as Bitcoin price has started to really gain momentum and more people out there get to know about Bitcoin, obviously what's happened is you found all these opportunists lurking around outside, and they're essentially parasites. And what they've basically started doing is, I've talked about this in another video as well. In the very first video I did on this channel, I talked about this. I'll touch on it again. There are numerous types of scam all associated with cryptocurrency, and they're all designed with taking your money away from you and into their pockets, and there's no promise of anything. The first of these kinds is like MLM Ponzi type scams, where they'll say, we'll get you this much cryptocurrency if you invest this much money, but when the money that comes in dries up, there's no more money to pay the new people, and so it's a scam. Also, there's a topic which is a little bit more advanced than I want to get in this video, but basically it's an initial coin offering, and that's an ICO. And when a new coin wants to join the market, what happens is these ICOs come out and people can participate in them and buy a certain amount of tokens for a cheap price in the hope that they then skyrocket, because people keep hearing that all these other people are making millions through Bitcoin. And what ends up happening is these projects are launched, people invest money, and then the projects disappear. So good people are losing money left, right and center because of scams. And that's also given Bitcoin a bad reputation. I also think that all of this press around Bitcoin millionaires and people making millions and millions, billions of dollars on cryptocurrency in the last few years has also given it a bit of a bad reputation, because it's what's allowing all these leeches on the outside to see this as a space which is very, very unknown out there, and it's still a new feeding ground, so they see it as a way for them to line their pockets. So the message here, the overriding message is, number one, always do your due diligence. Always overstand what you're investing in and what you're buying before you part with your money. Otherwise, if you just act on the whim of someone that you know, there's a good chance that you could lose your money. And the last thing I want to say before I go is that some of what's happened over the years has been growing teething problems, and some of what's been happening lately is just because it's an emerging space and people want to try and take advantage. But underneath it all, cryptocurrency, blockchain technology, Bitcoin, which is the market leader at the moment, is a very, very, very powerful technology that is going to be around for a long, long time to come. So the best thing to do is learn about it, understand it, and get involved with it, and that way you can benefit from it in the future. I'll see you in the next video.